Do you like off-meta builds? Do you like one-shotting people? Do you like rocks? Well, you've come to the right place, because this is my guide on how to play AP Malphite. To kick things off, let's get straight into his abilities. Malphite's first ability is his passive, Granite Shield. After about 10 to 6 seconds based on level, he gains a shield that is equal to 10% of his maximum HP. His passive is great for blocking poke and taking a few more hits so he can trade better. And since his shield is basically free, with time being the only cost, all you have to do is play safe for a few seconds and you have your shield back. Malphite's next ability is his Q, Seismic Shard. Malphite sends a rock roll into the enemy, dealing magic damage to them upon impact, slowing them for 3 seconds and gaining bonus movement speed equal to the raw amount the target lost. You mainly want to use this ability for the poke and for the movement speed. Since it homes in on enemies and slows, it's pretty easy to poke down enemies that get within your range. Just be aware that Malphite doesn't have much mana in the early game, so use it when you have Mana Flow Band or Arcane Common active. It's also a good idea to use the movement speed from his Q to catch up or to run away from the enemy. Malphite's third ability is his W, Thunderclap. There are two parts to this ability, his passive and his active. The passive for Thunderclap grants him bonus armor, which is then tripled while Granite Shield is active. The active for Thunderclap makes his next basic attack deal bonus physical damage with it and other basic attacks, triggering a cone on hit in the direction of the target. His W can be used to help with farming and maximizing his damage with his combo, since he can auto-cancel in between attacks. Malphite's E is Ground Slam. Malphite slams ground, dealing magic damage to all nearby enemies and slowing their attack speed for 3 seconds. This ability is great for CSing, due to it being an AoE ability. It's also helpful for a counter attack since it slows the enemy's attack speed, so they won't inflict as much damage as they would have. Malphite's last ability is his ultimate, Unstoppable Force. Malphite becomes unstoppable, dashing to a target location, knocking up all enemies hit and dealing AoE magic damage. Unstoppable Force is Malphite's most iconic and devastating ability. You primarily use this ability to engage teamfights or to pick off a poorly positioned enemy. With the right runes, items, and dragons, you can get your ultimate cooldown to as little as 15 seconds. Literally Earth Malphite. Now, let's get into the runes for Malphite. If you're playing in a lane, you may want to take these runes. Sorcery of Arcane Comet helps if you poke in the early to mid game. Mana Flow Band expands your mana pool so you can stay in lane longer, and Transcendence and Gathering Storm for more damage. Next, you want Domination of Ultimate Hunter to lower your ultimate cooldown, and Eyeball Collection for more damage. For offense, you want to take CDR. For flex, you'll want to take Adaptive Force or Armor, and for defense, you'll want to take Armor. If you're playing Malphite jungle, take these runes instead. Domination of Dark Harvest for higher damage potential, Sudden Impact to deal with the resistances of your enemies, Eyeball Collection for damage, and Ultimate Hunter for lower ultimate cooldowns. Then take Sorcery of Gathering Storm and Transcendence for more damage, and then you take the same offense, flex, and defense runes as laning Malphite. Now, what do you build on Malphite? If you're going top, mid, or ADC, start Doran's Ring or Sapphire Crystal and Fairy Charm. If you're going support, start Relish Shield and 2 health potions. If you're going jungle, start Hunter's Talisman and Refillable Potion. You can choose between my 2 build paths, the late game and the early game. For the late game build, you want to build these items: Rod of Ages, Luden's Echo, Archangel Staff, Witchbane, Ionian Boots of Lucidity, and Rabadon's Deathcap. For the early game build, you want to take Luden's Echo, Lichbane, Rabadon's Deathcap, Void Staff, Rauai's Crystal Scepter, and Ionian Boots of Lucidity. You don't have to build exactly what I build. Build what best suits your situation. If you're fighting a team with a lot of healing, build Moral Nomicon instead of Rauai's. Early on, you mainly want to poke your enemy down if you Q to get your Mana Flow Band stacks up. If you take Sapphire Crystal and Fairy Charm, you should easily be able to achieve max Mana Flow Band stacks on your first back. Just make sure not to spam your Q until you have bought a mana item. Basically, you want to keep on doing this until you reach level 6, and when you do, you'll be able to. In the mid game, you want to start to roam a bit so you can hopefully pick up a few more Ultimate Hunter stacks. Once you pick up Witchbane, pushing should be a lot easier since the bonus on hit damage from your W and Witchbane can affect turrets. You will realize that by the end of the mid-game, your combo should start to deal a considerable amount of damage to squishy champions, and you should have your ultimate back every 40 seconds or so use it whenever you get a chance to. Late game is where Malphite truly becomes an assassin. Even if you take the early game build, you'll still do tons of damage in the late game if you are ahead. You should most certainly one-shot anyone who hasn't built against you or isn't prepared for Malphite to come flying at them. At this stage of the game, you may want to focus on pushing and getting easy picks on poorly positioned enemies. This is the end to my AP Malphite guide. Hope you found this helpful and entertaining, and if you haven't played AP Malphite, you should give him a shot. You know, I just realized that this guide will probably become obsolete when the new items come out, so maybe a second guide? Who knows?